have the honor of presenting the, well, I turned it around but I can't read it, the Freedom Award of the American Nationalities Movement to Judge Kenneth R. Spanagel in recognition of your lifetime achievements, your innovative contributions to the legal profession as co-editor of the judicial publication, The Chronicle, as teacher of the law to judges and lawyers throughout Ohio, your dedication to perpetuating the culture and traditions of your German heritage, your values of God, family, and country, and your contributions or continued support of our movement, presented this day, July 18, 2012, at the annual Captive Nations dinner. Congratulations. And you got one too?
I got one too. Don't hit the video switch. Wait, oh, Kelly, you got enough?
No.
That'll be good.
And I don't hesitate to say this, but please say a few words.
They said you wanted to be out by the 7th inning of the Indians game. Those of you with cell phones can tell me what. I usually don't need a mic. First off, I want to thank you all. I got to at least acknowledge all my friends who were here first at this table, my daughters Shauna and Lindsay. Dale, the significant, is not, he's sitting there, but he's gone. Lindsay's fiance, Dan, my grandson, Blaine, and Allie, and there's Avery.
Hello.
You heard about George. My mom, Maria, who was really the one who convinced me, because the second-year German teacher I wasn't happy with, she said, stick it out one more year, and as Mrs. Smile will tell you, Sieglinde was amazing, led to me actually taking German Lit with a German lecture in a college, which I'm honored. My sister Chrissy, my brother Eric, Mrs. Spanagel, you know, Marv Maktovic, who worked for me a long time. In the back, Debbie Ress, who was Federal Judge Boyko's previous honoree, and her husband Dick, my friend Senator former Bob and Mary Spada, but most importantly, the oldest working Ohio public employee, the godfather of Federal Judge Boyko, my bailiff Mike Zadarecki. And he's not shaving tonight. For the other people. My sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, and my two grandnieces aren't here because they're somewhere in a plane in Atlantic that they spent 3-4 weeks in Germany, and they're on the way back tonight with our friends in Germany. I too want to thank you. I am humbled. I am honored. The awards you get not because you sign up for them, are the important ones. I'm humbled because there's a whole lot more work and ethnic work here than there is with me, but I am still nonetheless honored. And as Mr. Wachowski said, and you look around, this group is a good group. A little older in the tooth with some people, but it's first preserving the ethnicity of your ethnicity with your kids. Or Crosby, Stills, Nash had a song, Teach Your Children Well. For many of you, teach your grandchildren well. Those two grandnieces coming over from the Atlantic, one of them is dancing for Donau Schwabian, the other one's 2 years old but can speak German 1 to 10. You got to remember to do that and share with your kids. I'm also especially honored because this is Captive Nations dinner. And most of you and us, although Rocky was, I think before Rocky started kindergarten, his dad and Irene had a membership card in this movement. I was a later in life, but most of us come from what I call an Eastern European, German, Southeast European with Mr. Wachowski history. And back when this group was formed, that's what Captive Nations were. As Dad used to speak, and I used to speak in the Slovak radio hour, and he started it, when I got it, I says, you're there, and it's somewhere in the 70s and 80s, change will come. And then finally, Soviet Union changed, the wall came down, Prague Spring, and I remember the one time when I didn't do it, but change has come. Some of it was not peaceful, as Mr. Wachowski would tell you about the former Yugoslavian nations. Some of them were more peaceful. But that, I won't call it a war, I'll call it those battles have pretty much ended. Now they got a whole lot of different battles. But the Captive Nations struggle has not ended. I'm honored. Our cameo friends, Cleveland Area Middle East Organization, Pierre, Eddie Corrie, Abby, Michelle. The battle locations have shifted. Look at the Mediterranean over the last year. Egypt has done something, we're not sure what. God knows what's coming out of Libya, Tunisia. Right now, Syria. African countries where if I was a member of certain African countries that I'm a Christian, maybe I've signed my own death warrant in the next couple of weeks. The battlegrounds have shifted. We've won a lot. And you look at the list of the memberships, okay? There are many nations listed. This organization should not just rest on laurels in terms of captive nations, but reach out to those groups. I always call them the Stans countries. What is it? Uzbekistan, Kurdistan, I think it's Turkestan. The Stan countries. Asia. The lady who spent how many years in prison, and when she went to get the Nobel Peace Prize, maybe she wasn't going to get back in. The locations have shifted. There are new groups to reach out for American nationalities of those groups to help them, because you all knew how you did the struggles to help free your individual ethnic nations, to also help them, because you got experience. It's a little different in different countries. The religion certainly shifted. We were mostly Christian countries. Those are different. But you know how to help them. As I made a note here, times may change, but the work goes on. Many of our nations are no longer captive, but many are still captive. And I challenge all of us where we can help to make more people free and less nations captive. And with that, I thank you, because this is an amazing honor. And I thank you all.